Jill Hopkins here from the Morning Amp, Vocalo Radio. We're at North Coast Music Festival in beautiful Union Park with the one and only Southside native, just like me, Kami.
There we go.
Thank you so much for that set that we just saw. How you feeling right now? How's the adrenaline going?
I feel good. Oh, do you just hold it?
No. I'm like Bob Barker right now.
Okay, word. Nah, yeah, that was cool. That was super cool. Playing with a live band was cool. I've never done that before.
Wait, you said you were introducing the band and you were like, we just met during this last touring thing?
We just met. I was doing a tour with Jameson, and I just met them. I met this guy, Robert. You know, he had a band, instantly turned all the tracks up. It just sounded really good to me, so I was just like, let's run this shit in Chicago. So I'm happy with it, you know, so.
The folks watching the show seemed really happy with it, but I mentioned just before, fellow Southside, I'm from 83rd and South Shore, rep your neighborhood.
Yeah, Bronzeville, 48th and King Drive, born and raised.
That's amazing, and I love Bronzeville, and I feel like whenever, as a Chicagoan, you go someplace else and you meet somebody who's also from Chicago,
Right.
The first question is, where are you from? But like, where'd you go to high school? And I know the answer to this question.
Yeah. It's funny where I went to high school because I don't know how I went to high school there, but Whitney Young, and you know.
I went to Whitney Young.
You went to Whitney Young?
What year?
2011.
Ah, Jesus fuck. Goddamn. 97, baby.
97? Damn.
I look great. You don't have
Look
to.
amazing. That's what I was getting at. I'm like, 97.
Well, here's the thing with Whitney Young, right? Like, because they took kids. We don't age. It's obvious. Michelle Obama is still.
The curriculum, not aging 101.
But also, there's kids from all over the city, and that's such an amazing asset.
Yeah.
If you are an artist and you know that you want to collaborate with other kids when you are 14 through 18 years old. Can you tell me about how going to that school and meeting the kids that maybe you wouldn't have met going to anywhere? Like, really?
Yeah, simple as that. It was a really cool dichotomy of people there. I think a lot of culture, because a lot of kids were coming from a different sides of the city versus like your neighborhood school that would, you know, like enroll you regardless because everybody has to go to school. So,
which, you know, nothing wrong. Everybody should have an equal opportunity to have great education.
Definitely. So, yeah, I mean, Whitney Young was a blessing in the sense that I met a lot of people there that kind of helped shape the type of person that I became open to being.
Yeah.
And that I could always be thankful for. But, you know, like, fuck CPS. Gotta throw that in.
No, that's fine. That's great. No, yeah.
It's kind of crazy because we love CPS because of like the people that you meet, from like, you know, the educational standpoint and just what they're doing with budgets and closing schools, all of that bullshit. That's some bullshit. But I will say that I was blessed to be able to actually go be part of the curriculum and live the way that I do now, because I did learn something from it that necessarily wasn't accounting or fucking whatever.
Well, I mean, isn't it like the double-edged sword? You're going through this school system, you're living in this city, and you find yourself smart enough to critique the exact system that you found yourself going through?
Yeah, it is a double-edged situation. I think, you know, a lot of people condition themselves to think in a traditional sense of like, I gotta do this because I'm taking this channel to do this. Whereas you can learn from anything, anyone, anywhere. You might take what you applied yourself in school, apply it to selling drugs. Or you might take it and flip into a rap career. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't necessarily have to point A, point B yourself, you know? It should always be fluid of, I can always use some information to gain more information, you know what I'm saying? So, once again, I'm thankful for that, for knowing that I learned that.
Did you ever find yourself in any hallway freestyle experiences?
What else were we doing? Homework?
Blue House?
Blue House. Now, I was low-key in Red House.
I was in Red House, 712, 712.
Okay, yeah. My division was definitely in Red House. But, yeah, like, freestyling all the time, skipping class to freestyle. But somehow, my GPA was still good at the end of it all. It's the cliche thing to say, is the smart rapper. Like, what did I leave with? Like, I left with like a 3.5.
Yeah.
So I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm happy.
It's like twice as high as mine was.
Don't say that.
It's true.
Don't say that. I mean, at the end of the day, it was just like, whatever you needed to do. Like, my mom's African, so she's like she was super like strict on some school shit. And she never knew I wanted to rap, so it was kind of like,
How'd you spring that on her?
Just by dropping out of college. Like, you gotta deal with me until this shit starts to work. And luckily, fortunately enough, she tolerated it. But at least now she can, see that it's all for something.
Whitney Young, I mean, I don't have to tell you, but for folks listening who may not know the geography of the city, Whitney Young's, if you got somebody get to throw a rock from where we're sitting right now, it's right down the street. There's got to be some sort of real good, like, karmic feeling that you have right now about playing a festival like this and just throwing up the middle finger to people who maybe didn't believe in you from the get-go.
Yeah. I mean, not out of spite or anything, more so out of, like, the sheer disbelief, because these opportunities and the way that, like, people don't tend to seldom live the way that they want to live, Everybody has to settle for something. And it's just always a blessing to be doing what exactly that you want to do. You can't take that for granted. So yeah, when you look back, it's always like a defining moment, like, damn, past all of that shit, I still did what I thought I was gonna do, regardless of what anybody said, you know what I'm saying? So that's cool.
Well, they love you, Kami. Thank you so much for not just all the great music, thank you, and all of the Save Money crew for everything, but like,
thank you.
Chicago's amazing.
Thank you, like, for real, like, y'all play our music, everything helps, everything that is a moment becomes a bigger moment if the energy is there, and if you providing us with energy, we gonna continuously try to provide y'all with the same thing back, like, it's motivation at the least. Thank you.
Well, we'll see you inside the studio sometime real soon. Thank you so much. Yay, congratulations. Yay, you're doing it. Jill Hopkins, Kami, it's Vocalo. Yay.